Episode 30 of the
Dirty
Mind
30, baby.
Over Matter podcast. It feels great to be here. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. We couldn't be here without y'all, and we definitely couldn't be here without our guest. Speaking of which, this guest blew my mind, everybody. Let me just,
Oh my god, dude.
I mean, I expected nothing. I didn't know I met him in his Discord server, Irrational Optimist, link down below. The people in there the energy in there is just unbelievable. Every person in there is just great. But we had the opportunity to have Riley on, and oh my god, the intelligence of this man.
Oh, dude, he was so articulate and insightful. He said he was 20, and I'm like, bro, there's no way. This dude's. I thought he was our age. Like, there's no way a 20-year-old could be this smart. But y'all see on the show, he's a really smart guy, knows a lot, and going big places. So we're super thankful to have you on. Riley is our Dirty 30 guest. So you got anything for him, Trev?
No, man, Riley,
off,
I'm excited to get to know you more, man. Thank you for opening up to us, and everybody enjoy the show. All right, everybody, welcome back. Lucky episode number 30 here, and we had the pleasure of doing it with Riley. Ran into him in a Discord, and he's from Canada, so figured let's just hop in and talk some mental health. Kev, how you feeling today?
I'm feeling really good. Got a lot of good things working right now, and I'm pumped to have our first Canadian guest on the show. So, how are you, though, Riley? Feeling good?
I'm good, brother. I'm good. Didn't you guys have Mason on?
Oh, he is Canadian, huh?
Yeah, he's
Man,
actually from like 40 minutes away from me.
Mason,
yeah.
Well, Mason, we apologize.
Shout
This
out
is
kind
the
of
latest.
As the Canadians would say, I'm sorry.
Sorry.
Sorry, eh?
Hey, yeah.
Mason, I'm sorry if you even watch this. So, anyways, we'll just dive into it, man. What's your life about? What you up to?
Yeah, man. Before I get anything, I just want to give you guys a huge shout out. I really, really appreciate what you guys are doing, what you guys are preaching. There's not a lot of guys who are preaching this kind of, not even just mental health, just like support in general. It's something that gets really overlooked, and it's something that touches every single person, but we kind of just sweep it under the rug. So again, I just really, really appreciate what you guys are doing for this.
Appreciate that, bro. No law, no law.
Give me some chills over here.
Con, bro.
No,
No,
you
you
don't
don't.
give credit where credit's due.
I don't know why, like us men don't say shit like that to each other enough. So
I
it's
don't,
good
bro.
to hear.
Like that's why even just meeting Jake, like Jake tells me he loves me like every day. He's like, bro, I love you so much, and I'm like, me too, bro. Like it's a nice feeling. I've always been. I don't know. That's a Canadian thing too. I grew up playing hockey, and it was always very like hands-on and like the Italians do it the best. You ever go to an Italian household and they're like giving you the kisses on the cheek and shit? I'm like, bro, I feel so welcome.
The old dude's like slapping your neck and your shoulders and shit.
Yeah, like right in the back.
For sure.
I grew up playing some hockey too, bro. I damn near
Really?
learned how to skate before I learned how to walk. Yeah.
Same. I think I was skating at 4, like
got
just
you
on
beat
4.
boy at 2. I was on.
Damn.
Bro. Yeah.
Damn.
I had a say in it anyways.
Fair enough.
No,
Fair enough.
hockey was awesome. I've been actually I was in a Twitter space this morning. They were talking about watching sports. How you feel about watching sports?
I grew up watching hockey with my pops. He was never. I was the oldest of 3. All my brothers played hockey. He played growing up, so it was always like Sunday night hockey is a big thing here in Canada. But I've never like followed sports really. I like played sports growing up, but I didn't love them. I was just never. I was a wild kid. I couldn't like stick to one thing, so I can't sit through a 3-hour anything, let alone a 3-hour sports game. But no, I don't know. Like growing up, I was never really like in it, and then as I gotten older, like I got a lot of other shit going on to worry about.
That was like the big
dude,
thing
when I
everyone
talk
was
to
saying.
people and they can spit like every single players, and they're like, "Bro, did you hear about this trade?" And I'm like, "No, I don't even know what sport that is."
Or like you'll be watching football with someone, they're like, oh yeah, they're running a 4-3 offense with a coach.
Dude, football guys are crazy. No, football guys are insane. I think like, bro, I'm gonna start hiring football guys because their brains work like I've never seen before.
Oh yeah,
shout
like
out
you're
to
playing.
Tommy, bro. We had
Yeah,
Tommy
yeah.
on our team.
You're playing Madden with him, and it's like he's like, acting
Yeah.
like John Madden calling these hot routes and shit. I'm like, oh, I don't.
Dude, I remember I used to play FIFA with kids, and like they would, because you can still like run the plays and stuff, and you can like change the formation. And I'm like, dude, I just learned how to cross, and you're like running like an offensive, like park the bus, and I'm like, what? None of that.
Back to you though. We're really gonna
Yeah.
get sidetracked on this show.
Oh, dude, I'm the worst for it. Get ready.
For real. So.
No, that first question Kev brought up was pretty good.
Which was what?
Not the question, the first little topic.
Oh, how we don't really
Yeah,
express ourselves.
yeah.
Oh,
Men
yeah.
don't support like that. And
Yeah,
why do you
it's
think
it's
that
a
is?
I don't know. I wish I had an answer for that because I'm a big proponent of tough love. Like me dragging myself out of my own things, me dragging other guys out of the mud with me, like it's being like, hey, it's gonna be okay. Never works. It never works for us. Like again, we can get into that, but like all the adversity I've come over, all the adversity I've seen other people come over, it never works with like someone telling you it's gonna be okay and just like rubbing your back. It comes with tough love. So to say like we have to switch the pendulum all the way over here to like everyone needs hugs and kisses, like I also don't believe in that. But I think it's a pride thing. I think it's, as men, we're supposed to be strong and we're supposed to be the center of the family and we're supposed to be the ones who are conquering things. And I don't disagree with that, but I think where we fall short is we don't acknowledge that you can't work your ass off if your mental isn't good. So it's like if you want to be strong and capable and powerful, like you need to be sharp. You need to be in a good headspace. So I think that's where we get lost. We don't acknowledge that in order to be the man, the strong man everyone wants to be, you need to do the groundwork first, you know?
Yeah, yeah. No, that's. I think that's not touched on. You talk about pride there a little bit, and that was a
Hmm.
big thing. The biggest thing for me is like my dad. When my dad told me he was proud of me, when I left for the military, he gave me a hug and told me he was proud of me. Those words like just struck straight through my
Yeah.
heart. I don't know if it's I don't know how often he told me growing up he was proud of me, honestly, but that one time, just hearing someone say I am proud of what you're doing was like,
Mm.
holy shit, this is what it's
100%,
about.
man.
Like this is what it's
Yeah,
about.
Yeah,
100%.
shit. First time I saw my dad cry, aside from his mom's funeral, was when I joined the army.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
it's like, it's weird too, because you got those people like my dad who are just like pretty reserved guys in general. It's like, I don't know if he's like hiding his emotions
Mm.
or he's just kind of like that, you know? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, he's not stopping himself from feeling this stuff. He feels less, I think, than the average
Yeah.
person.
Yeah. It's interesting. I've experienced a lot of families where the father's like that. He's very kept to himself, no emotions, and it's a bottle apart. I've just went through that recently
Oh.
with my pops, and it's like always been like, typical. Like the structure all revolves around him. And you don't realize that puts so much pressure on you as a man. And the toughest men in the world can't take that much pressure. Like, because it's existential pressure, you know what I mean? I mean, like you guys went off to war, like you went and enlisted, like that's facing pressure head on. But where I see men crack is the things in the back of their head. It doesn't matter if you conquered the day and you're in the trenches, you're doing whatever. It's when the lights go out and you're trying to fall asleep and all the worries and you start spinning. That's the type of pressure I don't think most men are
Oh,
capable of dealing
dude.
with.
Yeah, well, and the reality, they're not capable of dealing with it, and they just don't deal with it. It
Yes.
happens constantly in the army where people will just really focus on the mission and work and really work themselves to where they don't
Mhm.
have the energy to reflect and see who they are now.
Right. And in
It's
order
like,
to even get to the next day, they have to somehow numb that. And that's why drinking is usually a big problem. That's why
Yep.
substance
oh
abuse is
yeah,
usually a
well,
big problem in the military, right? Because
Or
because
even
God
yeah,
forbid you're
stocks.
gonna face that. Yeah. God forbid you're gonna face that head on at night and then go back to work the next day. Like you can't just decide to unpack 30 years of, like, yeah,
you
you gotta
don't
shut it
even
off.
you don't even know, especially with like the wars we're fighting now. It's not like World War II where once you left
Mhm.
overseas, you had 2 weeks to a month on a boat. It's like 36 hours you're back at home station, you're going to work the next day. It's like you have no
Yeah.
time to process anything.
Wow, that's super interesting. Yeah, I didn't even realize that. They kind of just like rip you in and rip you out and be like, okay, have
Yeah,
fun.
the only reason we got lucky, or I got lucky, was because of COVID. So I was lucky enough to
Mm,
quarantine before and after my second deployment. So it was 2 weeks at home and then 2 weeks back. But that was honestly, bro, that was almost worse because the 2 weeks going out,
yeah.
I we couldn't leave. They moved me from my hometown, in Tennessee, over to Georgia because it was coronavirus. I had to stay in these like infested fucking barracks. It was horrible because the platoon or whoever was there before us literally just left for Poland. So the people that are supposed to clean didn't come in to clean yet or nothing. So it was
Ugh.
like everybody's room was just rotten.
Can you
No
describe
bullshit.
these barracks too? Like, other than the cleanliness, like
Oh,
the amenities, and kind of paint us a picture
what
that looked like.
amenities?
I'm saying though, because like
Like,
it
all
was
right.
dirty, but there's other shit too, you know.
Almost like man, I don't want to say the longest yard because that's like the prison inside, but like the vibe within each other, it was kind of like the longest yard. Like we're all here in this one
Yeah.
spot, we can't leave, and we're all just
Yeah.
hanging out. But the actual there was probably there was three big buildings, all looking kind of like half a college dorm, and all like freshmen just lived in there and all dropped out
Ugh.
2 weeks later. So it was just a complete shit show, like complete
That sounds
nuts.
awesome.
Yeah. No. So, anyways,
Anyways,
I ended up gaining like 20 pounds there because I
Oof.
drank 48 cans of Yingling and two Pink Whitney bottles, and didn't do anything for two
Yeah.
weeks. And then I showed up
Yeah.
to Iraq, lost it in a month, back down to 175. And when I showed up, then they send you home, and I'm sitting at home for 2 more weeks.
That's insane, dude. That's so yeah, like it's just I mean, it's crazy that they wouldn't put two and two together and be like, this probably isn't the greatest thing for these guys. Like, not saying the military should start focusing on mental health. Like, of course, it's great to shout into the universe and hope it fucking comes true. Like, we know it doesn't. But even just for performance, like, if you want your men to be better, why would you not want to accommodate for them? But that's the thing with everything, right? That's the thing with careers. That's the thing with school. That's the thing with literally anything you do in your life. It's like it's cyclical where it's like yeah it's not optimized but also it's worse for them like if they're making you
yeah,
do 40 hours of work and you can get it done in 20 but they want you to stretch it out to 40 like you're losing half your productivity so they're paying you more for like none of it
no,
ever makes
dude.
any
I'll
sense.
tell you what it is though. It's the mentality of it sucked for me and it's got to suck for you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like,
Absolutely. No, and that's you see that a lot in corporate jobs, right? Like your boss stuck it out for 30 years, so you got to stick it out for 30 years if you want to. And there's no metrics, there's no productivity. Like that's the fact that we even track hours and not performance in any job ever is crazy to me. Like it doesn't make any sense. And maybe that's because I'm young and naive and like never worked a corporate job, but I've had like clients because I do freelance. I've had clients that like want to put me on like to pay for 40 hours a week. And I'm like, you're 40 hours, like you're not getting that. I'll do it. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna be honest. Like I'm gonna do like maybe 15 hours a week because I will run out of work to do because I can have 15 hours at my desk, distraction free, with a good headspace and a good physical health, and I'll get it all done. Like you can't give me 40 hours of work. You
Yeah,
can't.
see, that's
I mean,
what
shit,
Kevin
yeah.
realized with me right away. So,
Oh yeah,
since
dude.
you might not know, listeners may not know, whoever's listening, whatever. But when I showed up to the military, Kevin was my first boss. And Kevin,
Really?
yeah, I
Yeah,
was
I had
like
gotten
his.
through.
Go ahead.
I was like NCO for like 3 months at that point, so brand
Mm,
new sergeant in the army.
Yeah,
wow.
which means he is now responsible for the people below him, and I was the
Mhm.
first person he was responsible for. Man,
Oh
he
my
he
god.
read like straight through me. He's look, like show up at 9, Trevor. Here's your goal. Get your goal done. I'll send you home. And I was like, what?
Mhm.
Get your goal done. I'll send you home, bro. You should have seen me working.
Yeah.
Because
I'm going
before
home,
though,
boy.
yeah,
I'm going
before
home.
it was like you were just working to work. Like Trevor would have to
Mhm.
a task, and it could take a week, let's say. He would just work until 4:30,
Mhm.
itching the whole time, and
Mhm.
it wasn't that great. But I realized that if I gave him a goal, I'd get more work, and he'd complain less. That was
Oh, absolutely.
one of the big drivers for me because Trevor
Mhm.
has a mouth, and he had one back then, but it was beneficial for both of us. Like you got more work done in that
Mhm.
time.
Mhm. No, you're exactly right. It's a pride thing. Most bosses I know don't care about the performance. They care about being a boss. Them
Oh
being
my
a CEO
god.
of a company is more important than their company performing. And that's not to dog them. Like, I would do the exact same thing. If I was 18 years at this company since I was fresh out of college, in a degree I didn't really want to do, in a career that I didn't really want to do, and I stuck it out for 18 years, you're damn right I don't care about anything but the fact that I'm here. You know what? Like,
That's a good
who am I
way of
to say?
putting
I
it,
do.
bro.
Yeah, I do the exact same thing. Like, I don't know. It's so weird to me because I'm in the online business space and it's all like screw 9 to 5, 9 to 5 stupid. It's like, but you can't, it's like saying money doesn't buy happiness when you're poor. Like, you can say that if you make money and you're still not happy. It's the same thing, right? You can't say a 9 to 5. That's why I never say anything about like careers and 9 to 5. I know it's not for me. Like, I know I wouldn't last 30 seconds in it, but I know people who wouldn't last 8 seconds in what I'm like, it's,
Yeah, Kev, that's a good example. Was the other day you got a text saying, "Hey, I got a job opening up across the street," and
Oh yeah.
Kevin was like,
Yeah,
"Hell
so
no."
where we were at on Fort Campbell here in Kentucky, we had a compound, and so we had some military hangars and we had one civilian hangar. So there was just regular civilians. I think they work with one of these military companies,
It
but
was locked.
yeah, yeah. I mean, we're good friends with them. We talk to them all the time. But one of the dudes that worked there hit me up asking if I wanted a job. It's, I don't even think I could do
yeah,
that right now,
no,
let alone
no,
would
not
want
at all.
to. But no, I
No,
wanted to
that's
tell
insane.
But
wanted to
then
tell
we were
y'all real quick. Go
then
ahead,
we were
bro.
able to pass that along. Yeah, I had a good friend that looks to do that, and
Mhm.
I'm not shitting on him because he wants to go work and do this. I just
Right,
personally, there's no
absolutely.
way in hell I could show up like this 7 to 3 every day.
Well, because you saw the
Separated.
light at the end of the tunnel, right?
Yeah.
It's like, I hate that like the Matrix is such like an over, like, I hate that term now. It's got so on like Twitter and
So
stuff, but
cliche
it's true.
now.
Like, yeah, it's so cliche, but it is true. Like, once you see the other side that you didn't know was possible, you can't go back. And if you do go back, you'll never be the same person because now you've seen the other side. In fact, I know a lot of people who start corporate, break out, do their whole thing, and then go back and crush it because they understand. They see it from a bird's eye view. They understand how the ladder structure works. They understand, there was this thing going where like people are doing like multiple jobs, like software engineers and stuff, because they've seen it, right? Like they can stack it. There's this whole, like the FIRE, like financial independent, retire early, whole
Like
movement.
that
It's like from,
extreme cheapskates to save
yeah,
every penny.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I got
So there's that one, and then there's called Fat Fire, which is like financial independent, retire early with money. So like we don't want to do like the 30-cent iced coffee thing. Like we want to like live good. And
Yeah.
there's a big thing in that, like that space is stacking multiple like high 6-figure salary jobs because you're not in it. You're like for out, and you can see like they're paying me for 60 hours a week and I can get it done in 20. And they hire like VAs, like it's insane. It's nuts. But yeah, like once you see the other side, like you're never going back.
That was, yeah, I had such an understanding of the army and where I was there. I
Yeah.
just knew that it was nothing that I could fix. Like
Right. No,
we were
absolutely.
at our shop too, we didn't change duty stations. Normally you change every 3 years, and we were there for as long as we wanted. So like the boss, when I got there, we pretty much got promoted with each other. So
Mhm.
like when I became a sergeant, he was up my ass constantly because I knew I could change things. I didn't want to be like him. That I hated that it sucked for me, it's got to suck for you. And I'm like, that doesn't work for kids. So
Yeah.
I was like way different than him. Like I was way more chill and approachable, and he would tell me all the time, like, you got to yell at guys, like just be a dick to them. You know what I'm saying, Trev? Like you
Yeah.
know who I'm talking
I
about. And
know
I'm
what
like,
you're
bro,
talking about.
that is not who I am, dude. That it doesn't work with people nowadays.
No,
Like
it does. It's never worked. Like it's no. It's so weird to me. No, you're exactly right, and I'll bring it back to that point again because I think it's so important to hammer home. Like 95% of anything we do is just for pride, and if you can, that's why the best entrepreneurs I know are the most humble. That's why the best people in general they're most humble because you can look at it objectively. Like I've had some great mentors, I've had some great coaches and teachers, and they're all the most humble because they know like if they start flashing stuff, they're going to perform less, which means the person they're coaching is going to perform less. And if that's an employee now, he's like, it's so crazy to me how everyone's just so narrow minded on everything. And again, like Matrix bullshit, like I hate that, but it is true.
yeah, especially because it's all built off negative reinforcement. Like pretty much
Yeah.
my generation moving older. Like they just
Mhm.
yell at each other. They make you do push-ups and all this shit. Like,
But the interesting thing is, like, my generation, like, I'm super young. I'm 20. Born in '02, and there is no tough love. Like, it is crazy. I have two younger brothers. Both are in high school. Um, and it's insane. Like, I'm literally like, you guys need to bring back bullying. Like, that's what, like, if you walked in first day of high school and like there's teachers like not watching, like you got to make sure that no one's bullying. Like, dude, if I walked in first day of grade 9, like I was big dick in town, I would have got stuffed in the locker. Like, I would have got
yeah.
my head would have been flushed down the toilet and I would have been stuffed in the locker. Like, it's so insane to be seeing kids walk around. And I'm like, can you not, like, do you not have any football kids who are like going to shoot you straight? Like,
Yeah.
it's insane.
We're
I
There's
wanted to.
no
that.
anything.
So you
Yeah.
graduated like 2 years ago, then?
Yeah, I dropped out of university in
I
January.
was gonna ask, like, I'm trying to figure how different high school is now from when I graduated in
So let
2014.
me paint you a picture of what it's like right now, because like I said, I have two younger
In
brothers.
Canada.
In Canada.
Oh,
Yes,
right.
in Canada.
Okay,
Oh,
go.
Canada.
Go for it.
So they didn't write any exams this year because
Oh.
exams are really tough. They're really tough on kids' mental health. So there was no examination. They just got like written pieces that were purely opinion based, that were worth like 30%. Both my brothers, one's in grade 12, one's in grade 11. I don't know how it works in the US, but we go like grade 9, 10, 11, 12 graduate.
Yeah, same for us. Yeah.
Neither of them are graduating. No shot they're graduating. They haven't written enough things to graduate. Like, they haven't done enough school. And that's not even like getting into how no one learns things anymore, because that's all bullshit too. Like, just as fact as like when I was in high school, it was I want big numbers on this piece of paper so I can go to a better school. There's none of that anymore. Like, it's insane. It's insane. It's nuts. Even
Oh,
like when I was
striving
like,
for straight A's isn't a thing anymore.
no, because you just need to show up and
Oh shit.
like you need to be like diverse and you need to spread positivity, and you get straight A's, but it doesn't count towards any, like, it's a mess. Like, it is breaking down. It's insane. It's so insane.
I'm trying to think, because yeah, we had tests and shit too, but
Yeah.
it was like standards and tests. It's not like there
No,
wasn't
it's
really
not.
participation.
But it's
kind of
just the last
crazy.
5 years. Like, just with COVID clean swept anyone under the age of 18, like, just slashed right through them.
Oh,
It's
in
insane.
Canada too, it was real bad up
Yeah.
there, like the
Oh,
lockdowns
dude,
and
it was
shit.
like prison. It was so
Yeah,
bad.
how'd
I
your,
mean,
did you have to deal with the COVID during school at
oh
all?
yeah.
You were
Oh
going through
yeah.
school for
Oh
that? How
yeah.
was that?
I was in my last year of high school. That got
Oh
completely
my
slashed.
God, bro.
So
Well,
we didn't have a
first, sorry.
graduate.
Yeah.
Oh,
That sucks.
hey, it turned out for the better. Like, the fact that I had just 2 years to sit alone in my room and be like, okay, this isn't working. Like, I'm so grateful for it. But yeah, like, graduation got slashed, prom got slashed, all that got slashed. I didn't even graduate. They just sent me an email with my like transcript. They're like, yeah, like, here's your
Good
marks.
job.
And I'm like, great. And then I went to university. I took a year off because it was peak COVID. And here it was lockdowns and fully virtual. So I was like, I was like 2 years ago, I was like, I'm going to college, like I'm getting a job, like that was it. I was like mega normie, like it was awesome.
Damn.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm not going to school like that. There's no school. Like, I'm paying, and tuition was the exact same. And the
Yeah.
curriculum was the exact same. So it's not like they have an online curriculum. They have an in-person curriculum with old-ass professors that don't even know how to use
That's
technology,
where I'm at right now, bro. Yep.
porting it over to Zoom. And I was like, I'm not doing any of this. So I took a year off of that. And then I went for my first year, and it was hybrid. So it was like, that was 2022, last year. And it was terrible. Well, 2021 September into 2022. And so I had half online. I was in like the dorms. The dorms were insane. You couldn't eat in the hall because it's still classified as a restaurant, and in Canada restaurants were shut down because of
The
COVID still.
hallway?
No, like the dining hall, like the
Oh.
cafeteria. You had to like package all your food.
I'm
and bring it back to
retarded,
your
bro.
dorm.
I'm so stupid. I don't fucking know.
It was insane. It was nuts. Like, it was so nuts. And we're still not through it. Like, we're still,
Yeah.
Canada's still like, it's insane.
How have you seen it affect your brothers? Is that a bit?
Yeah. Oh, my brothers are screwed. My brothers are they're screwed. They're 18 and 17. They've never been to a party. They've never, like, there is no, like, nothing. They've never played a sport in high school, because you can't play sports in high school because it was shut down for COVID here. They've never joined a team. They've never joined a club. They've like it's insane. They are screwed. They're royally screwed. Their entire generation. I was the last year. Kids a year younger than me are screwed. Toast because they grew up with TikTok and they grew up with all this shit.
Well, yeah,
Like
they
they're
grew up with
screwed.
COVID
Mhm.
alongside TikTok, so they were at home
Mhm.
for 2 years with TikTok.
Screwed.
That
They're
shit's
entirely screwed.
crazy, bro. Like
Yeah.
kids use that. Like 5-year-olds are on TikTok. 4-year-olds, bro. Like
It's
they
insane.
got
I
the
was the
big padded
last.
fucking tablets.
Yeah,
You
I
know?
was the last generation. I got a cell phone when I was 15, and I was the latest. Like my parents were G's. My parents were the greatest. So they gave me like cell phone 15. But like kids, it's insane. Like I think we are, and it's like a way bigger conversation. But I think we are screwed. Like from now on, screwed. Like kids just not getting, like not scraping their knees, not having any adversity whatsoever. Like we are royally screwed.
I was thinking too when the online college thing was popping off. Like I can barely do that, and I was 25 at the time.
Yeah.
How was a
Yeah.
10-year-old going to do that?
It's no, it's not. I couldn't do it. I dropped out. I was like, I can't
I'm
do
not
this.
doing it. I'm in.
Yeah.
Me
I'm in
too,
3
bro.
I'm in 3 out of 4 of my classes right now. I signed up for 4 classes.
I'm like, I'm not waking up at 8 o'clock, rolling over, opening my laptop, and sitting through a 3-hour
No,
lecture.
bro,
Like,
mine isn't even a
none of
lecture.
that.
Mine, she sent. It's just everything done. You do it. So she sent us the book.
Oh, like asynchronous or whatever.
Yeah.
Screw
She
that.
sent us the book, and I have to go through the book. There's like 3 things I have to go through in the book: the lesson, the chapter, or the lesson, the homework, and the test. And this is all like proctored and shit. So
Yeah.
I can't like cheat or nothing crazy. And then
Damn.
when I contacted her about this, I was like, "This is like, this is like a lot of work, right? This is supposed to be
Yeah.
a 3-credit-hour course." And I just took this first test after studying for 3 hours, and I didn't get anything. I failed it. She messaged me back saying, on average, science courses take 9 hours a week for studying. And I said, well, I don't have 9 hours a week, so whatever.
No, screw all of that. Screw all of that.
So whatever. Just take the money from the army.
Man, yeah, talk about a good time to be in the army though. When COVID happened,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I didn't go to work for
Bro,
months.
I was
man.
overseas during George Floyd and the riots. I got lucky as fuck.
Really.
I was safer in Iraq than I was in the United States.
Oh,
Absolutely. You
dude.
probably still are.
Bro. I got stuck in Afghanistan because of COVID, bro.
Oh.
Like
Wow.
I left. I want to think like mid-January of 2020,
Mhm.
and like the week before I was supposed to come home, they stopped like every plane on Earth. We were stuck
Really?
out there, yeah, till June, bro. Like they made us wear masks, right? We had never worn masks at all before we got there. So people were making this shit out of like anything. Like one dude I saw had
Yeah.
like a bra cup with like shoelaces on his face. It's like, bro, what the fuck is this shit? And then like all hell's breaking loose back at home. This disease, like people are sanitizing their grocery bags now.
Yeah.
And it's
And you're like, y'all seen our living conditions? Like, get out of here.
yeah, like they closed the gyms at the base I was on.
In
That's,
Afghanistan.
yeah.
No one was coming in or out of that base. So it's like, bro, we're so isolated, bro. And I'm like, fuck, just give me COVID, let me work out, bro. This is
Yeah.
not worth it.
No, I got to the point too when it was all of it because we were in deep, and at the beginning, like I was wearing masks and all that. Like I was like, I was whatever. But it got to the point where I was like, I'm going to the gym and I'll get sick. I'll just get it. Like someone just give it to me, and I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna go out and like screw all this. Like it was nuts. We were like isolated.
It's like not even worth it, you know? Like,
No.
Do you see a path or a future for people like your brothers? Do you see something that
No.
they could go do? Like what sticks out to your brothers right now?
Nothing.
I'm asking this because me and Kevin are about to
Yeah.
start helping people like your brother. Like,
Yeah.
that's our goal.
yeah,
Yeah.
like they're
So,
big
Nothing.
problems. like
There's
that.
it's all apathy. It's a generation of apathy. It's a generation of, well, you got to think too. Like their brains are fried. Like 8, 9, 10 hours a day on TikTok. Like imagine, it's insane. Like how do you have any self-confidence as an individual if your day consists of seeing 10,000 people who are projecting as doing better than you and happier than you and healthier than you? Like it's screwed. No, the only way out is for me to get successful and me to pick them up by the shirt collar and drag them out with me. That's it. It's my youngest brother is a musician. He's like actually like genius talent. Like he's wicked. He's just cooler than me in every way possible. Like he's so much cooler than me. Everything I like wish I could do, he already does. Like when I was like, dude, I think I want to pick up skateboarding, and he's like just showing me how to, and I'm like, everything. So,
I'm
but
not picking up
he's
skateboarding.
yeah. But he's in a great spot. He's just such a good kid where he doesn't need much to be happy. So I'm not worried about him. But at the same time, I'm also worried about him because he could have like this little apartment with a little job at like a record store, and he could be like have a dog and like have his hobbies, but that rent's $2,200 a month in Toronto. That job's paying him nothing. Groceries are $400 a week. Like that's not attainable anymore. So I like his, I'm just like, you're good. My middle brother, I like the only way out I see is entrepreneurship, which is so corny to say, but I really, really don't see we're in this weird middle ground where like a corporate job still isn't paying you enough to live a good life unless you have like a really like top level skill, but also they don't have the work ethic to even stick through an office job to even do so. There's no in between. The only way I see us getting out of this is if society as a whole switches, which I think could happen, which is a whole nother story.
I don't know. In Canada, y'all, it switches to what?
Yeah, what do you mean?
Like I think the only way out of it for these kids who now have like no respect for authority, they have no self-discipline, they have nothing, is just working like one-off creative jobs or freelancing or starting their business or whatever, because they're none of them are sticking through. What's going to happen is when the wave of COVID kids from high school goes to university, the universities are screwed. Like screwed, because universities are still businesses, right? So we've seen. I have so many friends. I have 3 friends at 3 different colleges here that had to switch because their colleges shut down. Ran out of money. Done.
I mean,
and that's just 2 years.
You, Kevin, even every like probably the last 3 Zooms or last 3 meetings we've been on, it's been people that dropped out.
Yep.
The last guy we had on drop, or no, he's still in university, but that's Belarus, wherever that's at. And then he Spiz, the guy we were just helping.
It's nuts. So that wave's gonna go, and then in like 4 years, and then 4 years, the wave of kids who went through college still half online, using ChatGPT to write all their stuff, no education, whatever. Now they're the ones in the workplace, and it's inevitable that something on a bigger scale happens, because now you have, like, I don't want to say incompetent because it's not their fault, but you have kids who never needed to succeed in high school now in college. You don't need to do a lot to succeed in college. Like when I was first starting with business, I was not planning on dropping out at all. I'm like, I'm gonna ride this. So I wanted
to really go to college planning to drop out.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah. I was like, I wanted to do this for like 5 years. I put it off for 2 years. Like, of course I'm gonna. So I try to make it as easy as possible, and it took me nothing to make that.
Hey,
what's up, brother?
What's up, big fella? We're in the middle of a podcast. Introduce yourself right quick.
Oh, you're doing a podcast.
Yeah,
Say what's up to the people, bro.
I'm Tyler. I run a clothing brand. I'm just chilling with my boys.
Shout out Stomach Peak.
Link down below. Yeah.
Oh shit! They're recording a podcast. I just joined in out of nowhere. You know,
it's fine. It's fine. I'll just start
clothing brand that's gonna take over the world.
Yeah.
What's it called?
They're in the cigar.
What's that?
What's the clothing brand y'all got called? We'll link it down below.
It's Summit Peak, I believe.
Summit Peak. It's the next North Face, next Patagonia.
We're good.
All those other brands are Fugazis.
What were we saying?
Next Siberian Viking warlord. Watch out. Seblin Pack on Twitter. Ouch.
Yeah.
Link down below.
Yeah, link down below. But no, I don't know. I think we're screwed. I think, that's what I'm saying. When I was going through like college, I was like, hey, I'm gonna do as little as possible to get my degree, and as little as possible was nothing. Was running all my assignments through ChatGPT. Dude, over here, if you're having a bad day, you walk into the admissions office and you say, I'm having a bad day, and they say, no problem, here's a 4-week extension for mental health. Like, boom. Dude, if you're stressed and you're like, I have anxiety, boom. No, you're getting exempt from exams, you're getting exempt from culminating assignments, you're not doing anything. Like, it's insane. You don't need to try. Like, it's nuts.
They don't address the core problem, like what's causing the anxiety or anything.
No, because they don't care. They don't care. They their admissions to be good. Like universities are a business. They're a business. Their job is to make money. Their job isn't to educate. They make money from educating.
Yeah.
So they do as little work as possible to make the most amount of money. I would do the same. It's business. Business is
Yeah, it's
business,
right
you
back
know?
at you. I'm gonna do the little amount as possible so I can get my degree.
Yeah, exactly, right? Like, welcome to capitalism. If you don't like it, go to somewhere. I don't know. So, but no, they'll never dig deep. They want you to be as good as possible so you will still pay your yearly tuition, right? So that's why they're like, if you're struggling, we don't want you dropping out. Like, please stay in, please stay in, please stay in. But we won't give you support. We will just make it easier, you know? And that
Yeah.
goes back to my first point where you have to have a balance of like, yeah, you got to call it out and you got to speak about it. And it needs to be a topic. But the solution isn't just to make things easier because life is hard. The solution is to make you able to deal with difficult things.
Yeah, it's like either you change the people or the workforce as a whole would have to change.
Right. And that's what's happening right now is the workforce as a whole is changing with work from home and all that stuff, you know? Like, yeah, what you made a great point is that instead of the society getting stronger, everything is just getting easier, which is great for people like us because we are going to steamroll.
Oh.
Oh yeah.
You know what
Yeah.
easier it would be for us to just walk into like a corporate tech job, like sales. You know how many guys are crushing it in sales right now? That's why it's a big thing on like the make money online space. Is like there's like high ticket sales and all that, but there's a lot of guys just getting SDR roles at like software companies and steamrolling because no one's working. Everyone's like they have like softwares that make their mouse move back and forth, so like Microsoft Teams doesn't report them as like away from the
Oh
computer.
my
You can just
God.
steamroll.
Yeah, it's like what do you do with the population of workers that like are just intrinsically lazy and don't give a shit?
And don't work.
You make all the money.
Yeah, well, I come in and sweep up.
Okay,
I
well,
got-
that's
You
the
know,
thing
yeah.
too, right? It's hard. It's a hard balance, but where I've come to in business is a game. Life's a game, and you can't opt out of the game. You can't opt out of the game, so you may as well win. And if you can't win, you may as well get damn close. That's the only solution. Like you can't. That ties back to everything. That ties back to mental health, right? The only way that you can get out of a really bad rut is by getting out of the bad rut. You can't make yourself feel better out of a rut. You need to get out of the rut, you know?
How do you get out of a rut
that's
then?
what the military says. The only way out is through.
Out is through.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's a stoic. That's an old stoic saying.
How do you get out of a rut then? So you find yourself in, or I'm
I
some
have
kid and I want to get out
yeah.
of my rut.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you how I did it. Last year for me was tough. Last year for me was just 12 months of apathy. Like nothing got done. And it was a culmination of a bunch of things. Just with everything. But I tried everything. Like I've done everything. I've tried everything. I've been in therapy my whole life. I've been, they've tried to get me on every pill imaginable. The only thing,
Like you were depressed and you had like a woe is me mentality.
I guess, like I don't know. My thing was I'm in this great space. I'm in this online space. I'm in, like Twitter. Like I'm taking in all this knowledge. And there's guys like there's guys like Andrew Tate who are like depression isn't real. You're just in a state of depression. Like you can't be diagnosed with depression. Your life's depressing. And I'm like, I agree, that's great, but I still can't get out of bed and it's month 7. So I was in such this weird area of like I totally agree with like I like the idea of taking an SSRI would never cross my mind. Like I think that's terrible, but like I might have to because I can't.
I don't know
you know
what
I mean?
Yeah, I don't know how to
Have
get
you-
out of bed otherwise.
Yeah,
Have you tried just being happy?
I have actually. I have.
I heard
Yeah,
that trick.
I get what you're saying though. Like, oh, depression isn't real, okay, but I'm still stuck in bed. Doesn't do me
That's
anything.
it, right? So the only thing that got me out of it was doing things I wanted to do. The only thing that could pull me out was doing things that like I was truly passionate about, that truly spoke to me, and that was business. So it was just months and months, and my problem was I was putting band-aids on it instead of fixing the root problem. But the band-aids I were putting on were things that people were telling me would help. So I'd never miss a day in the gym. 12 months, 6 days a week, 7 days a week. My diet was perfect. I was meditating 20 minutes a day. I was reading 30 minutes a day. I was going to therapy 3 times a week. I was waking up early. I was writing affirmations on my bathroom mirror, and I was depressed as shit. None of it was working. And the only thing that got me out of it was I woke up on January 1st and I'm like, this is bullshit. I dropped out of school. I stopped going to the gym. I stopped waking up early, and I just did work that I was passionate about. I just did the thing I like to do, which for me was entrepreneurship, was business. I started the business, and everything disappeared because I realized that me going to the gym 6 days a week, like everyone was telling me that was healthy, but for me it was just 2 hours where I didn't need to worry about
Yeah.
the thing.
Yep.
Me waking up at, me reading for an hour a day was just me like it was productive procrastination. And I've seen that affect so many guys that have been in this space, and they're taking in all this like self-development, self-improvement. I'm sure I have 40 books here that everyone's read, like The Subtle Art of Not Giving, like all that. And it doesn't work because it's not, it's all surface level things. It's just it's healthy suppression. It's like you can either drink your feelings away, or you can do things that make you feel good so you don't have to feel your feelings. In my head, they're one and the same. Obviously, one's a lot healthier, but it's still putting a bandage on not doing the thing you want to do.
Finding
So,
that
yeah,
purpose.
like you don't want to
Yeah.
face yourself and find out, okay, what's really causing
Exactly.
this.
I know a lot of people who are very successful in their careers, and they're the guys who show up to the gym and like head to toe matching Lululemon things, and they're perfect. They have their water bottle, and their water bottle matches their phone case, which matches their wallet, which matches their AirPod case, and they're like super healthy guys. And I know for a fact that they are miserable. They are miserable because their 240K a year job is the last thing they want to be doing. Like you can't. I really think it's just all band-aids for, because I've seen that with people that I have helped personally. They were looking at them, you're like, what do you need help for? And that's another problem too, right? Is because if you're doing all this and you're like, yeah, I'm not having a good day. They're like, what do you mean you're not having a good day? You woke up at 5 a.m., you went for a run, you hit the gym, you had a green smoothie. Like, what do you mean you're not doing well? That's a big thing too, right? Like, it's not, I think it's just all suppression, and that's all the only way. And again, I'm just speaking from experience and what I've seen too, but the only way I've ever seen a guy truly get better, not ride the storm for 30 years, like truly get better, was going all in on the thing they wanted to do. I don't think you can put a band-aid over that.
So when the new year came around, did you just decide I don't want to do this anymore, or this is not working?
It was two things. It was one, I knew I couldn't do another 12 months of this. I didn't know what it looked like 12 months from now, but I knew it wasn't an option. There was no, I was on a downward spiral.
Yeah, you'd be the guy you were just talking about. Yeah.
Exactly. So no matter what, I knew I had to change things. But the moment of clarity for me was, I've been doing this for like 3 years. I've been a long time lurker in all this online space. Like, like Cardinal Mason and David, like the guys you got on, I've been following them for years and years and years and years. So I've been in this like entrepreneurship and health and self-improvement. I've been in all this for like 3 years, and year over year, I've gotten significantly worse. So something was up. And I had this moment of clarity where I'm like, the reason is because I'm not listening to myself. I'm still listening to other people.
Yep.
Like we say 8 hours a day of TikTok's bad. You know what else is bad? 8 hours a day of self-improvement content. That's just as bad, because you're still taking other people's views of the world and assuming they are right, and then implementing them, and then nothing's happening because it's still not what you want to do. So I was like, I'm cutting out all inputs.
It's funny you asked me that, because that was the one thing that I thought of today to ask you was, where do you get your information from, and what do you do with the information? So like for me, I like at first when I was down in the dumps like you, I just jumped on Jordan Peterson and just listened to everything he did and tried to stick to everything he told me, because that was the easiest thing to do. But then I
love Jordan Peterson, bro.
But I couldn't do all 12 rules every day of my life forever. It's just it's impossible almost. Like it's I would solely be focusing on doing that instead of being me, is what it would be.
No,
so
100%.
That's just kind of what
I have an interesting take on that. I think, how do I say this without getting too like woo woo? I think everyone has their own answers. Like human beings are like, we're beautiful creatures. Like we have like 4% of our brain figured out. We don't know how any of this shit works. So if you want answers, you need to just give yourself the ability to come up with answers yourself. How much time in our day-to-day lives do we have to sit and think of what to do next? Never. We don't. 5 minutes in the shower. Why do you think we have shower thoughts? Why do you think shower thoughts are a big thing? Because that's
you're
the
only-
only
Yeah.
it's the
Your
only
mind is
15
free,
minutes
yeah.
out of your entire day where
Yeah.
you don't have inputs coming in. And inputs are everywhere. If you're walking down the street to clear your head, there's still inputs. There's still billboards. There's still signs. This person's conversation over here, this and that. So where I get my information from, I'm not going to say, like, I'm not a monk. I don't sit and meditate for 8 hours a day. But I'll take pieces of information and I will absorb them and I'll try to sit and think and act on them. That was a big change for me this year. I was in January. I was like, okay, I could teach a $3,000 course on how to start an email marketing agency. It's been 3 years of input, and I've made $0 from it.
You're
I could
perfect
teach it.
for a course then, yeah, shit.
I swear to God, I could teach it, but I have $0. So I was like, obviously something is up. And it's because I was getting my how to run an email marketing agency from 20 different sources that are 20 different opinions because they're just trying to make money. That's right. Like the guys who are selling email marketing courses aren't email marketers. They're selling an email marketing course. And at the end of the day, business is business. The way we did business in the 40s is the way we do business now. You just repackage it, put a pretty little bow on it, and sell it for $9.97 on Gumroad and make money. So my thing was like, I need to take one thing and I need to do that one thing for 3 months. So I joined Cashflow Syndicate. Shout out Mason. Shout out David.
That's where I started too, bro. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah,
Let's get it.
Shout out to them.
I joined
Yeah.
Cashflow Syndicate on January 1st. And I said, I am following this to a T. Because I had an ego too, right? I'm like they're obviously more successful than me, but the only difference is they've done it and I haven't. So I know. But again, I had no results. So I'm like, I'm sticking to it to a T. This is all I'm doing. I dropped out of school. I stopped going, like, this is all I'm sitting at my desk 12 hours a day and I'm doing it. And on day 11, I made more money from copywriting than I did first 2 years prior because I stuck to one thing. I cut off all other inputs and I did one thing. That's the only thing that got me through it.
And that was the first W you had taken in a while then.
Absolutely. It was definitely the first W I've taken in a long time. And that was the moment of clarity where I woke up on the 1st, January 1st, because I was hungover as shit from New Year's. And that was my moment of clarity. I was like, I have all these inputs and good inputs too. Like that was the hard thing. Like people who I consider mentors and role models, like my parents. I have great parents. I was like, I can't listen to them. I can't listen to people good or bad. I need to listen to myself. And 11 days after I made that decision, boom.
That's like freaking everything now, dude. Like
Yep.
Sales, exercise. Everyone's got such a different opinion on everything. It's like, yeah, how do you...
It's because they're making money from these opinions. That's the big red pill, right? Like that was the same thing with the gym. I've been going to the gym off and on for like 4 years and nothing stuck. The most progress I ever made was when I didn't follow a course. I didn't buy a book. I didn't watch a YouTube video. I walked into the gym and I said, what do I want to do today? And I'll do a couple of these and 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 then walk out. And I did that every day, 6 days a week, and ate food that like wasn't poison. And I gained like 20 pounds because it's just inputs. Your brain can't comprehend. Like think of the increase of inputs that human beings have had over the past 100 years. Like think of the daily inputs we would get 100 years from now compared to now. You'd have your neighborhood. That's it. 5 people a day. We have 5 people's opinions in the first 30 seconds of waking up if we open on TikTok and scroll, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, like your sphere of influence is only your neighborhood. I've been trying to actually get better at that, trying to like talk to the people at Target.
Absolutely.
I see stocking the shelves every day.
Yep.
Like, hey, what's
No,
up,
I'm
dude?
the
How you
exact
been?
same.
I saw you here fucking 4 days ago doing the same shit. What's your life like? You know? So I've been trying to get
100%.
better, but because I hop on my phone, hop on Twitter, and there's everybody I could have.
That's the problem, right? Is we have so many good inputs that we just assume. Like, there's a lot of us that will watch an hour of like self-help YouTube and be like, that was productive. I did that for years. I just consumed.
Oh.
But I wasn't on social media. Social media is bad. I don't watch
Yeah.
Netflix. I'm being productive. I'm reading self-help books. I'm watching self-help YouTubers, and I was doing nothing.
Yeah,
That's like
no,
our
was
course
taking
thing,
in.
Trev.
Yeah, that's what I was doing when I was getting out. I was like, all I was doing was playing a video game on one screen, and the second screen was Jordan Peterson or a self-help
Yeah.
something. And that's what I did for like a year. And I thought I was doing right, and it did help. I will say it did help.
Oh, of
And I
course.
wasn't playing
Oh,
like
like to be clear, like I wouldn't be anywhere near where I am without those inputs.
Yeah.
Like absolutely. Like I owe my life to that. I owe my life to guys like Mason and David, who I looked up to. I owe my life to getting on Twitter, like in COVID, and being brought into the space of like I owe everything to it. Because without that, I wouldn't have even known it was a thing.
Yeah.
But the problem in that space is it's an echo chamber, and it's people making money from. Think of it this way: if a course is made for you to be successful, and it's a monthly course, and it's a great course, and you're successful, they only get 1 month of payment from you. So why would a smart businessman who's making a course want you to stop doing the course in a month from now? That's why, like guys like, I don't want to fuck, like Iman Godzi and stuff. Like he has like 2 million subs now. He blew up. There isn't a single video where he's like, this is what I do. This is how I make my money. And this is how you can do it. All it is like the end time is near and you're running out of time. And here's the 7 skills of a high value man. Like, because it keeps you in the cycle. That's good inputs and bad inputs. It's all meant to just keep you in the cycle. And the only way to break out of it is by choosing something to do and doing it for 6 months. And if it doesn't work, you do something else.
Yo,
Kevin,
dude.
that's exactly what our course is. Like the complete opposite of what you're saying is what we're tailoring the course. Like there's no monthly fee. We're doing a straight upfront fee at the beginning. If you're trying to better your life, give me some money. We'll better your life with you.
Absolutely.
I specifically said in there, like, you see it all the time when people start agencies is they focus on like the website, making it perfect with font and word choice, or registering an LLC. It's like, bro, that's all bullshit, bro. Like that's dangerous because it makes you feel productive, but you're not actually doing something to
100%. And that's what courses are. Like I went through Iman Godzi's course. It didn't teach you how to do the skill. It taught you how to be an agency owner. Most big successful agency owners, if you are a email marketing agency, most guys aren't good at email marketing. They're good at agency because they take courses in agency. I've stolen a lot of clients from agencies because I've got the owner on the phone and I'm like, listen, I promise you, I can show you the course that this guy took. And I can show you, here it is. Like I did it too. He doesn't know what he's doing. He's paying some guy in Taiwan to do it. Like he's just a good agency owner. I'm a good marketer. So hire me. I will actually market for you. And sure enough, I onboard them and we do like an extra 30% the month of. Like that's the problem. We're just in this space of, it's the worst.
Can I ask how you chose cash flow as kind of your route to follow?
Yeah. It was 2 things. It was one, just doing something I'm naturally good at, which I was copywriting because I don't know if you guys have noticed, I can talk for an hour straight. So if I can just type as fast as I talk, I can just think on words and then make people money. And I've always been a good writer, like growing up and all that. The only reason I ever got like good marks in school is because I would just save it to the last minute and then sit down and write. So that's why I took that venue. But I don't know, Mason was big for me. Shouts out Cardinal Mason because 2 things. One, he was like his life was attainable to me. Like I said, he grew up like 40 minutes away from me. Like he's not this kid from Miami who's like, he's just a small town Ontario boy that speaks the same as me. And and he's the example of like, okay, there's someone like me who can do it. What is he doing? But also it's like what they preach in Cashflow Syndicate is like, here's how to do it. Like we're going to teach you how to do it and it's cheap. You should do it, but we're going to make you money. It's not how to, like, they are very, when you join, they give you a 30-day plan. Here's what you do on day 1. Here's what you do on day 7. If you're on day 7 and you haven't done this, you're already behind. And on day 30, you'll make money. I did it on day 11. 3 years of all this other stuff versus the one thing, because they're just like, it's actionable. It's what I'm talking about. It's not trying to make you feel better. It's not like you go through the course and they want you to feel good about it so you stay for longer. It's like, we'll teach you how to do it and go do it.
Yeah, because I'm thinking if I'm some person I haven't really found my route to follow, like what are some things I should look out for, like some big red flags or green flags that I should know about? I can think of one just off the top of my head.
Yeah.
Red flag if they're not doing it or haven't done it themselves.
Absolutely.
If I'm teaching copywriting and I'm not a good copywriter and never done or I did it for a little bit, made the course and then stopped because I sucked at it, that's a red flag you should avoid.
Well, here's a little secret for listeners. Go to the biggest guys on Twitter who are selling courses, and then go funnel hack them, and then go try to find results from what they did that they are teaching.
Funnel hack. What do you
See,
mean?
like go through if they're. I don't want to even try to drop names. They offer this. We teach you how to do X. So go through their offer and try to find if you can see the guy's name who's attached to this also doing X. If like I'll use email marketing for example because I do that. If you're gonna buy a $3,000 email marketing course, go try to find the guy who you're buying it from, the guru, and try to see if you can find his email marketing results. Right? Exactly what you're saying.
Oh,
Like
okay.
the red flag you said is so prevalent. Like you have no idea. It's
See,
insane.
that's why
That's a big one.
so yeah, that's why we tailored our course more towards mindset because
Mhm.
we're new. We are new to the business world, but we are what 4 months, probably about 6 months in now into
Mhm.
just joining cash flow. I could pull it up on Discord how far I've been in cash
Mhm.
flow, but we've done all the beginner mistakes that everyone is going to make.
Yeah, oh,
Like,
absolutely.
like
Yeah.
we're 6 months in. We could still teach you a couple things, but our course is tailored towards me and Kevin fighting all the mindset battles that we have. You know what
Well,
I'm
I can
saying?
tell because
And then the
the
little
thing that Kevin
extra.
just said, yeah, the thing that Kevin just said is the number one thing I tell people when they're starting. Don't get a logo, don't get a website, don't spend, like, go get the thing and then go learn the thing and then go tell people, hi, I can do this thing for you, and then get paid to do the thing. That's it. That's how you run a business. That's why Mason's popping off on TikTok because people are like, how do I start copywriting? It's like you learn copywriting, you email people and say, hi, I'll do copywriting for you, and then you do copywriting for them, and then you get
Literally,
paid.
bro. I was going on Amazon and just find a product and I write ads for that.
Same. That's how I got started too. Yeah,
Trying to get the
absolutely.
words in there, bro. Like I had to. If it seems too good to be true, it probably is. Meaning,
Mhm.
if it's a really good course, they're going to charge a lot of money for.
Absolutely. Yeah,
I like.
I don't think you need courses. I am a huge proponent to paying for mentorships. Absolutely. If you go on an hour phone call, it'll teach you more than 30 days in a course. Guaranteed. Because it'll just tell you how to do it. Like I said, a course is meant to keep you in. And no disrespect to courses. Like, make your money. If I had 50K on Twitter, you're damn right I would have a course and I'd be printing from that. But a lot of courses want you to stay in the course. And if you get successful on day 30, you don't need the course anymore. So if they charge $30 a month, they just lost, 300 whatever dollars,
That's what's dope about Cashflow too. Is they got that community too.
Yeah. Well, that's what's dope about IO too, right? Like what we're building in here. Like it's the biggest thing. The community's number one. That's been my big thing this year. That's been my big realization is that I was so growing up, I was the only kid who was doing this. I had no
Yep.
one. Like my best friends were online. I had no one. Zero. There wasn't a single person in my city who I could be like, I'm gonna sit on my laptop and make more money than you. Not even, not even crossing their minds. So when I met this community, it was insane. Like I was trying to achieve a life I didn't even know was possible. I see guys on YouTube do it all the time. I see guys on Twitter, but I don't know I've never been on the phone with someone that has doing what I want to do with my life until 3 months ago.
I was
And that blew my head open.
So you don't own this server? You're just a member?
No, Jake does. Yeah, I'm just
Oh, okay.
I joined the server just like everyone else. Yeah.
How'd you
I
find it?
literally just Jake's Twitter. Jake just fired off a tweet at the beginning of this year. Was like, "Hey, I'm starting this little group," and Jake's just, he's one of the guys in this whole sphere of people on Twitter. And I just joined, and it was the same as the same feeling everyone got when we joined. I was like, "Holy shit, this is what I was missing." It's
Yeah.
a
What,
I always
what do
say
you mean
it's
by that, real quick? Like, what makes this
what?
such a special place?
I
Why does it
think
appeal to you so significantly?
yeah, I think a lot of courses or groups or programs or anything are trying to convince you that you're missing something and then selling you that thing. That's what marketing is. That's how I get paid. It's like, hey, you've been missing this your whole life. So here it is. Whereas Irrational Optimists is something everyone's actually missing. Everyone's actually missing community and brotherhood and having people you can lean on and having guys you can speak openly to. Like we're the most connected we've ever been as a society, and it makes us the most isolated we've ever been. Like if you can connect to 50,000 people at the tap of a screen, that means you won't actually connect with anyone, you know? So I think this group is filling like a void that is actually missing, like primal, like biochemistry. We need a tribe, we need a family, we need a group, and we've just lost that. And that's
Yeah.
why, that's why when everyone joins this group, whenever we do our acceptance rounds, is it's lightning, it's like people have never seen anything like it before. Jake pukes from excitement every time we do an acceptance round, because it's this thing that you didn't know you were missing. Like it's a primal thing, it's like emotions that you can't replicate.
What do you want to say on that community, Trev?
No, I'm excited to be there myself. I'm in IO too, and yeah, like you said, it was a complete mind blown when I got in here, and everyone was so cool. And then that's what got me started. Like immediately after joining, I started creating our other Discord for our purposes. We're trying to. That's
Right.
the same exact thing. Get a community together and go up together. That's the goal of the Discord.
Yeah.
Just we're tailoring it towards our software a little bit. So that's really
No,
the
the
only
lone
difference.
wolf mentality is bullshit. It's
Yeah.
complete. It's not. It's been pushed so heavy, and
Actually,
it's
I got a question. What do you think about
Uh-oh.
what do you think about going into business with your friends, bro? Everybody says growing up, don't go into business with your homies. That's like I heard that all the time. And Kevin's my number one homie.
Yeah. I think it's a very subjective thing. I think it changes for everyone. It like if I say it depends on the person, it's such a cop out to not give a good answer, but it depends on the person, that like if you can join forces with someone who's also passionate about business, you will do infinitely better than if you just hired someone off of Fiverr. Exponentially better. But if you hire someone just because he's your friend and has like doesn't add anything to a business, then you're not running it as a business, you're running it as like a school project, and then you're going to do exponentially worse. I think doing anything with people that you love and care about is great, but business is business. And especially if you have such a special bond, you would much rather hurt the business than hurt your friendship. You'll take that every time. You'll take friendship over business every time. And God bless, like you should. Like that's it. Like, friendship's more important than numbers on a screen. But if you're trying to be successful, so I think it depends. The big thing for me in business, obviously, I'm now helping Jake with IO, and Jake's a brother to me. He's like I consider my older brother, because everything he falls short on, I pick up, and everything I fall short on, he picks up. And we have respect between each other. We still have very concrete boundaries, and we're still trying to run a business. And that we can separate that from our friendship. We can have a fight over business and then hang up the phone and then call each other back, be like, yo, bro, like, how's it going? Like the separation is key. So to make a short answer long, yeah, I think it's a double-edged sword for sure.
I'm going to ask Trev, what do you think makes us able to work together?
Oh,
yeah, no. So it kind of goes both ways. The Army taught us two things: it's leadership and then the ability to follow. And I think because me and Kevin both know those aspects, it works so well. So I know what it takes to be a follower because I was Kevin's first follower. He was my first leader, and now it's back. I became a leader in the business. We kind of switched roles just because we talked about this in our course. Like I just have the better face for the product that we're selling. It's just how it goes. The energy, everything just matches it more. And Kevin's just better at being right there with me alongside secondhand.
And to be clear, the fact that you can say that is why you'll be successful, because where a lot of business owners who are also friends fall short is they can't speak hard truths for the sake of the business. There's not a lot of partners who are friends that would be like, I'm better for this. Like I'm telling you that I am better than you at this. Well, I'm going to do this. And I'm telling you that you are better than me at this. So you're going to go do this. The fact that you can sit there and be like, I'm doing this because I'm better at it, and he's doing this because he's better at it, like that's a huge key.
Yeah, exactly what I was gonna say, man. Like that's what's made it so easy is that Kevin, and it all started with Kevin coming straight up to me and saying it. Like I never said anything about it. Kevin came to me and said, "Look, dude, like you're better at this than I am. Like
Right.
you have the face. You could do it better. You're just better in front of
Yeah.
camera. You know, like
Mhm.
you go do this, and I'll hop on the calls and do the sales. Like,
Yeah, it's like
Absolutely.
I've always been way more comfortable in that number 2 role. That's where I really like
Mm,
in the army, band growing up, like that's where I fit in at, and I really excel
right.
doing that. So,
Right.
why not? And two, there's not really anything I don't think me and Trevor couldn't work out.
Hmm.
We've shared, the best and worst times of our lives together.
Exactly.
It's like, bro, what's gonna happen to where fucking
Yeah.
we
That's the
just
great thing about brotherhood. You get to a point where you're like, well, what's the alternative? Like, I have some friends I've known for 15 years where I'm like, well, we're not gonna fall out. What do you mean fall out? We
Yeah.
can't. You cannot do like it's like a soul tie. Like I'm
Who-
not.
yeah,
you
who the
could
fuck
do
I'm gonna
the
wake
worst
up and
shit, it's
call
like-
then, bro?
Yeah, like what? Falling out? No, I've known this asshole for like 15 years. Like, I hate the guy sometimes. We butt heads, but what's the alternative? You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, it takes a lot of humility, I think, is the big thing with that.
Absolutely.
Being honest with
Absolutely.
yourself and your friends.
Yes, yeah, and being able to take constructive criticism. I don't
Oh,
trust people who won't shoot me straight. I have no
yeah.
yes men in my life. I can't do any of that because I got a big head. Like if I have a bunch of people telling me yes, I will go do it and I will fail, 100%.
Who was I was just telling someone in IO that shit too. Like
Yeah,
if you got an idea, oh man, I don't remember what I was saying. Yeah, you want to get your game plan together and you want to tell your boys about your idea.
Mhm.
And if you got
No,
boys,
people come to me with advice for that reason because
Yeah.
I will tell you if it sucks.
yeah, and
Straight
if,
up.
yeah, if you got boys just saying do it,
Mhm.
it's not. But if you got boys, I would rather have the boys saying, "Yeah, bro, go get that shit, fuck it, go do it," than the dude saying that will never work. You know?
Oh, absolutely. No, with dude, our group is called Irrational Optimists. Like we
Yeah.
are irrationally optimistic about this shit. Like
Yeah.
you're 100% right. But
well,
there's a difference between that and yes men.
Yeah, we'll be like, like personally, I'll be like, yeah, I know we could probably do that. Here's some things like you probably watch out for.
Yes.
Like make sure you can do, but no, he can do it, bro. There's no problem.
Yeah. No, absolutely. It's just keeping each other between the lines, you know?
Yeah, if it's just a really shitty idea though.
Yeah. You shoot that bitch
Hey,
down.
This is gonna be a little kind of twist here. What
Yeah, let's
you
do it.
talked about the Canadian housing? It's expensive. I seen a
Yep.
clip. I'm sure a bunch of people seen a clip. Can you just explain it a little bit more? Like, do you know enough about it to explain it to us? Like, what
Yeah,
happened?
it sucks. It all sucks. The whole thing's a mess. It's
Right that up again.
All right.
yeah. No, it's expensive. I pay $2,600 a month for mine. I split it with a roommate. And I pay less than his portion, but this is my I live in a shoebox. Like I can touch my wall. So it's a lot of things. It's a lot of really deep political issues that we can't just like have a 5-minute conversation about, you know. But the problem is it's deep-rooted problems that get masked by fake deep-rooted problems, you know. So it's like this political party's in power and the rent's gone up. That's what 98% of people are like. It's like this guy's pushing this, so it's that. It's like no, it's like 9 levels deeper than that. But this one's easier because for a lot of people, like the government is like the thing, you know, they can't even comprehend anything past the guy who gets on a stand and like reads off a script. Like that's their all, you know. So it's a very high level conversation. The big thing in Canada, hot take, I'm going for it. The big thing in
Go
Canada
for
is
it, dude.
we're proud of where we come from, and then we bury it for other people. So like the big thing about Canada is diversity. It's number 1, 2, and 3, right? Diversity. But then we just lose all sense of being proud to be Canadian, which is huge. If you ever meet a Canadian that's in America, they are proud to be Canadian until they're back home. And then they're like, no, we're proud to be diverse. Right. So like if here's an example. So one of the last assignments I wrote before I dropped out was a 2,000 word essay, and it was an opinion based essay.
Oh, yes.
Which I
All
love.
done.
Give me that. Give me that.
Let me
Give me
get
that shit.
4,000 words, man.
Yeah.
Nom nom nom.
Nah, but just wait. No, you're not ready. So the topic was on intersectionality. So,
Which is for the people that don't
which-
know.
Yeah,
yes.
for me.
So it was
Yeah.
how does the crossing point of your gender identity and your ethnic background, how does the intersectionality of that, how has that affected your life? And I am very white and very straight.
Oh
So-
my God!
Basically
bro.
the devil.
Yeah, you may as well
right,
came from
right?
hell itself, bro.
So I
Yo.
went to my professor and I was like, with all due respect, like I want to be as careful with my words as possible. If you please bring me someone who will have a very hard intersectionality story, and let's compare actual shit that we've dealt with. Because I can't write this essay. I said, I can't write this essay. I've never had any struggle with my skin color, and I've never had any struggle with my sexual orientation. But I can promise you, I've had a lot more struggle than 95% of these kids in here, without a doubt. So how am I supposed to write this? How am I haven't. How is your background and your sexual orientation caused adversity in your life? It hasn't. But do you want me to tell you about the other shit?
Yeah.
And and she was like, no, that's the topic. So I had to write a 2,000-word essay on how being white and straight has negatively affected my life.
Oh man, let it
And
rip.
it was worth 35%.
Oh my
I would
God.
start from fucking 2 years ago.
I dropped out. I didn't do it. I dropped out.
I was gonna say, yeah, no, I didn't even put any thought into being like
No,
white until
no.
fucking like 2 or 3 years ago.
No.
Oh,
But
yeah.
to tie that back to the housing thing is that's the focus, right? That's the focus of being a diverse country is, I mean, Jordan B. Peterson, that's his whole thing, right? That's why he resigned. You ever watch his resignation videos? He got a piece of paper on his desk that said, you need to statistically, numerically, like lower the percentage of your white students to make room for the people of color, like your students of color. Like it was weighted differently
And he was
in numbers.
Was he in Ontario? Is that the university he was at? Or is
Yeah,
it
he's in Toronto. He's like
Toronto.
25 minutes this way.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's at U of T. Yeah, I was supposed to go to that school. Like he worked like 20 minutes away from me. Yeah.
So badass.
Yeah.
That you ran into that. I wonder. I'm genuinely curious of how much of the Canadian stuff like that will transfer to America.
All of it.
Yeah, because Canada's like just a more far left United States is pretty much.
Yeah, you
how I
guys are
see it.
screwed 'cause people like us.
Oh, dude. It's like California, both California and Canada are like a crystal ball.
You know what?
Bro.
That's a great. Yeah, that's a
Like
great
a
reflection
crystal
of it.
ball, yeah.
Yeah, bro.
No, it's a great. So I'm in Toronto, and Toronto, the homeless population is terrible. Like just terrible. It's so unfortunate. But yeah, and COVID, like the shelters were shutting down, and it was a whole thing. The homeless population here is, it is terrible here, very bad. So mid last year, they had this big initiative to fix the homeless population. You know, we're gonna fix the homeless population, and what that was rehabilitation. Right? We can't treat these people as criminals. We have to rehabilitate them. So we can't punish them for being, down on their luck. We need to give them support. So
as if they're just down on their luck, like missed one paycheck.
Yeah,
got addicted to heroin all of a sudden.
So the financial support increased, the mental health support increased, the rehab clinic support increased, and then the enforcement decreased. So guess what happened? Nothing got fixed because you can't mental health way out of homeless people, and people were getting stabbed in the necks with heroin needles because there was no policing. So for the last 4 months, like Toronto's been Gotham City. Because they can't kick homeless people out anymore. So the subways are just filled with homeless people. You can't enforce anything, right? So there has been. I wish I could pull it up. Jamie, pull it up. The statistics of homeless people, attacks on civilians from homeless people in Toronto the past 6 months has skyrocketed. I know people. I got sucker punched like a week and a half ago outside of my bar. Clean up. Look at this. Look at this.
Oh my God.
Snap my glasses clean off.
What the fuck?
Whack. Yeah, it's insane because we're not in this push of, diversity and helping people. We're getting, it's like, so I went last March, my pops and I went and we did a big US trip. It was the first time we've ever like really seen the US. We went to the Grand Canyon. Yeah, we went to Vegas. It was gorgeous. But he's very not like, he's one of those guys who's like, I don't do politics, and God bless him for it. But I was telling him, like,
politics is doing you, man.
Yeah. But I was like, that's
Yeah.
what, right? So I'm like, guess what you're gonna realize, motherfucker? We're gonna go to Arizona, and you're not gonna see a single homeless person. And then we're gonna go to San Francisco,
Oh yeah.
and you're gonna be like petrified. Like you're gonna be horrified of
Oh,
what you see.
so
And
bad
sure enough,
there.
we went to Sedona, and he was like, he fell in love. Sedona, and I love Sedona. It had his soul, you know. It's just
Where
like
is that?
this is
Arizona.
Sedona, Arizona.
Oh, okay.
It's like it's we drove from there to the Grand Canyon. So it's
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
But it's a very like it's kind of a hippie town, like restaurants on the street. They shut the roads down, whatever, right? So he was like, "This is my place," and I'm like, "Yeah, because it's right. It's red, and you're a rich white dude. You love this. Let's go to San Francisco." You know?
Yeah,
and
yeah.
my pops is a hippie. Like my pops is super. Like he's a super cool guy. Like super cool guy. But then we go to San Francisco, and he thought he was gonna love it way more than Arizona because we went and saw like Haight Ashbury. We're big Dead heads. So we went and saw like all the Grateful Dead stuff. Like he's been wanting to go to San Francisco his whole life. And then 7:30 at night hits, and he has to go back to the hotel because he doesn't feel comfortable walking down the street because there's lined up the tents, right? So that's what Canada's running into now is in the pursuit of trying to be progressive and diverse, which I'm not saying is the bad thing. To be clear, like
Yeah.
yes, please. We're losing touch of reality, which is does it matter if you can like legally change your gender to whatever you want if you can't afford to feed your kids? Like where is their where's
Yeah,
their
where are we
balance?
at?
That's what Canada's. I bought a carton of eggs today. It was $14.99.
God damn.
It's what I did too. I think it was
$8 here.
$5
Something.
here. But I got
Yeah.
generic. Like I got literally the Target brand. I
Oh, the
wasn't getting
shitty brand.
anything other than like I don't get nothing but like Target brand, Walmart
Yeah.
brand. I stick to that shit because it's
Yeah.
the Walmart brand is what the best shit cost like a year ago.
Facts.
Like
I know.
that's
It's
all that
nuts.
happened.
I wanted to ask though, like, because I think here in the U.S., the homeless issue is like a mental health, more of a drug
Mhm.
addiction problem. Like, what do you think is causing homelessness in Canada to be so?
It's
They
the
can't
same.
afford
It's
it.
definitely the same. But yeah, in like in San Francisco, you get paid to be homeless. Like what's the stamps you get? It's crazy, isn't it? It's like hundreds and hundreds of dollars to be homeless.
Yeah,
In,
no,
like
that all.
in the blue states. Yeah. So
yeah.
if there's a video, if you just search like San Francisco homeless people want to be homeless or some shit like that, it was like a clickbaity title. It was a street interviewing, going to interview guys, and they're like, "Why are you on the streets?" And these, it's just guys who are apathetic. They're like, I don't need to work. I get paid $800 a month or $600 a month or whatever it is to go get your stamps, and you get your food and you get your little whatever your poison is, and you're on the street. It's a mental health issue for sure, but it's not just people losing their minds and doing heroin. When we say homeless is a mental health issue, like it's not all war vets, it's not all people who are just snapped one day and shot up needles. It's a very subtle increase of mental health issues that is slowly phasing people to not want to do anything.
It's an
'Cause, yeah,
increase in issues, decrease in support, and increase
Yes.
in housing costs. So
My
you just-
general
that's a
my
three-peat,
general
bro.
take on mental health is that it's people, like a lot of it's people not wanting to do things, but that's not their fault because society isn't pushing them to do things. It's a treadmill. It's all a circle. The
Yeah.
whole thing's a circle. You can't say mental health causes homelessness because does homelessness cause mental health? Like it's all cyclical. I don't think you can pick a point because if you're picking a point, you're just picking a point on the treadmill and it's going to come back eventually,
Yeah, and you got to have trauma on there too. Like Soft White
Yeah.
Underbelly, he does interviews with drug addicts and homeless people, and all of them got trauma in there.
Absolutely. But all of us got trauma too, so
Shit, yeah, I don't know, man. It's like what if we both had the same trauma? Why would you do this path and me do something else?
exactly. And a lot of it's just like I said before, it's just opting out. There's a lot of people just opting out.
Because it's easy.
It's sad.
You get paid to opt out right
Yeah.
now.
I mean, yeah, you
Yeah,
get paid,
absolutely.
you just get high, go steal some shit, get high again, bro. Like,
And you
Yeah,
get
and-
preached for it. You're brave.
In
No,
California, you can start stealing shit. In
Mhm.
Portland, it
Yeah.
was like Walmart or someone just left Portland because it was
Yeah.
too crazy. They were just
Because
allowed to
if
steal.
it's if you shoplift under $1,000, it's not considered shoplifting. It's like
Yeah.
a petty crime. So you can steal $990. You can go steal an iPhone, and that's not criminal. It's
Yeah.
nuts.
the three of us could go take $3,000 worth of shit.
Yeah.
like-
We might start that. That's gonna be my new offer.
Yeah, the IO boys rolling in, bro. We just fly from one.
We in this bitch.
Just taking a train from Portland all the way down to the bottom of
Oh
California.
my god, theft automation
rock-
offer. I'm gonna get on
Yeah, like-
that.
We need some motorcycle. Maybe those electric scooters they got downtown.
Yeah, like in the UK, and they go like slash people with machetes on their little Vespas.
We're a green movement too, man.
Yeah,
Shout
go,
out to the environment.
Oh, absolutely. We're all for the environment. Yeah, shout out
Those
Greta
tax
Thunberg.
breaks. Yeah, the goat.
shout out Greta. Yeah, bro. Well, what are we at here?
So,
We got time for some.
It's been a minute.
Mo.
Yeah, you got any? Yeah, you got any? We can rapid fire questions. We can go deep. What you got?
Let's see.
Trying to think. What's the big fucking? Did you? The truckers are up in Canada. Did you see any of them?
Oh baby. Oh baby.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was crazy. I know people personally who got like their bank accounts frozen because of all that. It was nuts.
Whoa.
Yeah, it was nuts. Well, here's the thing with that. The thing with that is like the same way that American people don't understand Americans' patriotism is the same way that people don't understand Canada's, because you have to be American to understand American patriotism. And you need to be Canadian to understand Canadian. It's the same thing, right? So the whole trucker thing started from Canadians proud to be Canadians. It started from truckers who needed to be vaccinated in order to get over the border. So, right, it started as truckers not being able to, they had to either get jabbed or go over the border. But it didn't start as a anti-vax thing. It started as an anti-forcing thing. They're like, get it or not. We're not saying they're not microchipping us. It's not poison. We should just be able to choose if we're getting that shit or not, you know?
The
So
mandate.
that's where it started. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the mandate. That's the word I was looking for. So it started with that. They hightailed to Ottawa, whatever. Obviously through that. And again, like from here, it's very divided. Like Canada politics is just as divided as the US. It just doesn't seem like it because we're such a naturally liberal country that you assume everyone. It's very divided here. Like the up north Canadians are rednecks. Like it is great. I love my boys up north.
Yeah, I think ours just looks so more divided because we were founded on rednecks.
Yes.
Like you know what? Like we were literally the rednecks from UK.
Yeah.
Hopped on a boat, came over here.
Yeah.
Like this is our place now, boys.
Yeah. So it started with that, and then obviously the news picked it up, and then within a month it was an anti-vax trucker convoy, right? And then they get to Ottawa, they shut it down. And I don't agree with parking 1,000 semi trucks in a city and shutting it down. You know?
Shit. Like fuck you, dude. I totally.
Yeah.
Not fuck you, but like the government.
No, I would too. I would too. And then that was that. I was not at the protest. Where are you? Damn. Yeah,
What was it like,
there was
bro?
like tailgates and shit, bro. There was like guys with
Bro,
barbecues.
the best way I can explain it is just like everyone was family, bro. I was getting free food, free hugs, bro. We're just boys.
You just tweaked everyone out listening because when you joined, I muted you, and then fucking Riley just started talking to a ghost. So I was like, bro, who the fuck is this dude talking to?
So, like,
dude in the chat.
Did the cops come and fuck with you, or how did
They
it
can't.
end?
Bro, the cops were completely good until about the 5th week, and then they started getting like horses and shit and backing people up, and then it like ended mad quick. But the
Because what
first 5
happened
weeks, bro,
was-
there was cops
Yeah.
there, but they weren't doing a single thing,
Oh,
bro.
yeah.
They were just chilling.
Because just like how it got picked up from an anti-mandate thing to an anti-vax thing, then there was like 2 guys who had Nazi flags on their truck, and then it was a white supremacy convoy.
Oh, they do that all the time here, bro. Like
Like then
you'll
the
see
news
them.
can stick and run with that.
Yeah, you'll see the folds in the Nazi flag, like they just bought it and then put it out to make those people look fucking bad.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, bro.
That's
And people don't understand. There's thousands of people, and it's a public place in the capital, bro. So retards can join. Like,
Oh, I was gonna ask, like y'all heard about the January 6th shit here? Like, what'd they tell y'all about?
Yeah. Actually,
Nothing.
what you
Nothing.
do? You have
Really?
you kept up with it? Do you know what's actually happening now?
No, well, yes. Oh, absolutely. I've been
Okay.
kept up with this since day one.
Okay,
No,
that's good.
here it's just that Trump told people to storm the Capitol, and they did.
Some bitch.
So y'all's media lies to you like ours does then?
Like your guys is weird because you can pick and choose, right? You can go on Fox, you can go on the other one. Like, you
To
can
an
choose what news you get.
To an extent, yeah, but like
choose who lies to you.
those are
Yeah.
like pretty close to the center on both of those sides, I'd say.
Right, that's true.
Fox News is center right, I'd say, and then like CNN a little bit farther left, but you got to go a little bit more out there to get the
Right.
more diverse.
But that's
spectrum.
there's still a division. We don't have that here.
What do you mean?
Who's
Like,
your media
there's no
outlets then?
Fox News?
Yeah, what are your media?
Yeah,
No,
bro.
yeah,
It's just CBC, bro. That's it.
We have like pretty much like we have one, and then it's like branches of all of them. But like when the January 6th thing was happening, there was news coverage being pro-Trump in the U.S. and there was news coverage being anti-Trump in the U.S. There's no pro-Trump media in Canada.
Yeah.
Oh,
True.
wow.
So that's what I say when I say you can pick and choose your news in the U.S. Like you can.
You guys
can
don't
watch
have
your,
oh, is that like on TV? That's the only news channel you could choose.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm thinking like I could think of like 4 or 5 people that I watch on my own because they're entrepreneurs and created their own.
No, absolutely.
own-
Yeah.
Like, do you guys have those people over there too? Like, how many of those really? Because
Jordan
I
B.
could.
Peterson.
What do we got? Yeah, we got Daily Wires, Steven Crowder.
Yeah.
Alex Jones.
Alex
Info-
Jones, Tim Pool.
Go.
Yeah, like you.
No,
they
the
go
crazy
nuts.
thing, the weird thing for Canada is, like I said, Canada's equally as divided as the US, like right and left. But since there's such little right in Canada, if you're like conservative in Canada, you're more up to date with American politics than the US, you know? Like if you're right leaning in Canada, you watch Alex Jones.
Oh yeah, no, you
Because
get that. We get the same thing here. Like
Okay.
conservative people will consume like conservative and liberal news. Liberals will only consume liberal news.
Yes. Well, that's a good. But I'm saying that Canada doesn't have any of that. So if you
Yeah,
want to be like
yeah.
counterculture, and like I'm not saying like no opinion here. I'm just stating facts. Like if you like Canada is equally as divided, and if you want to go this way, there's nothing in Canada. You're not you're not getting any of that shit. You got to go watch InfoWars and hear about the frogs turning gay.
Yeah, it's like by and large, like the average person is only watching like the state media, not.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's
it's,
where my mind
it's
was
weirdly
messed up.
propagandic.
Yeah.
It's there's not a lot of like
Some-
individual journalists in Canada
Man,
because there's
I
no
had
need to be because there's no feeling being pushed of right or wrong. You know, that's why like in the US, since the like central news are so divided, you used to like center right, center left is divided for Canadians is what I would say. That it's like obviously the US is corrupt. Like obviously their news is corrupt, but ours isn't. Like we just have one guy. We just got this one thing. Like it's not gonna be corrupt.
You found the good one.
Yeah,
We're
Yeah.
sticking with
yeah,
it.
yeah.
Well, that's Canada as a whole, right? Like, sucks for you guys, but we're great. And it's like, no, we also suck. Like, a lot. Like, we really suck.
Sucks down there. We're fucking.
Like, it's not
awesome
even
up
cheap
here,
to
man.
live up there no more, bro.
It's Toronto's more expensive. Like, I was looking at apartments with Miami because I want to get down there eventually, and it is significantly more affordable than my place. Like,
What the fuck,
significantly.
bro?
Miami's
Oh, yeah.
cheaper, bro.
Wait,
That's
Riley,
how-
where do you live?
Toronto, downtown.
Bro, I live in London, bro.
London. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Like London, England.
No,
Nah, London.
He was
Ontario,
just saying he was
baby.
at the truck rally.
Dude, fuck. Had a long day, bro. I was gonna
I
ask you
flew
something,
down.
Drew.
I flew down for the truck rally, boys, representing.
I respect that.
Hopped
Hell
Did your
on
yeah.
the
bank
flight.
account get frozen?
Yeah, bro, that was another thing, bro. Can't everyone makes out Canada be good, bro? They're freezing your bank accounts. How is that
Mhm.
legal?
Oh, yeah.
That's-
Because
Well,
it's
I
just you donate if you donate to a GoFundMe, they have the right, or they don't have the right, but they froze.
I was
your
deep
bank
into crypto before any of this entrepreneurship. I was really deep into crypto, and the stuff that they were pulling in Canada for crypto was insane. It was insane. You had to, like, there was no, because crypto is all like decentralization. If you wanted to buy any crypto on Canada, you need to submit front and back of your driver's license or passport. You need to go through a whole confirmation. You need to submit another piece of ID that's confirming your address. Like, you have to apply for a bank account, and
Getting it
then
done.
yeah, right. And then and then they just started shooting things down. Like I was on Binance, it's like, yeah, Binance can't trade in Ontario anymore. They're like shooting everything down. It was nuts. But, like this whole thing was about like decentralization, and Canada's like, nah, we're good.
How do you?
Bro, I'm
It's
trying to
nuts,
go
man.
to Bali or like Miami.
Yeah, I want to
to
do
be
Bali.
honest.
Oh,
I
I'm
should
out
go
this
to
bit, bro.
Tampa, bro. I'm chilling right here in Tampa. It's like 80 degrees out
chilling.
right now, bro.
I like Tampa actually. I've been meaning to. My whole thing's weird because like I love the States, bro. Just as like as a place, like you can get everything in the state. It's so weird
But
for
you
me
better
that
be
people were
vaxxed.
born and raised.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for
facts. People were born and raised in America, and then once they start traveling, they're like, I'm going to Thailand. It's like, how about you go to the other side of your country?
You know why they're going to
That's so cool to
Thailand.
me.
You know why they're going to Thailand.
I know. Tax reasons.
Yeah.
They've already been in California too long.
Tax
Bro, I
savings.
thought you were talking about lady boys, bro.
He is.
That's
Yeah.
why I'd go. Yeah.
Oh yeah, same.
We got those in Canada too. Y'all can come down. You can't afford it, but
Oh,
We have
no.
lady boys in Canada.
bro, isn't that that was gonna get a hot take? I'm gonna
Yeah.
refrain.
Wait.
Yeah, but they'll tax you 49% for them.
Hey, shout out to
Bro,
the lady
let's get
boys.
a place in Miami, boys.
Let's get a place
We
in
are.
Tampa
We're out
because
there.
I'm already halfway there.
Facts. No,
Tampa is
Florida's
a good
the
city,
move.
bro. I've been to
Ta-
Tampa once, but I was like a little kid.
No, it's a good
Florida's
city
the
and
move.
it's new. So it's a new city
Yeah.
that's gonna be kind of like I want to compare it to Chicago in like 1880, like brand new. Everybody's about to move here. Like it's a beautiful fucking
Okay.
place. Everybody's gonna move here because the climate's not gonna change unless you're
Right.
a
Yeah,
climate change activist who can actually believe that. And you could do anything you want in Florida. Like Florida Man is a real thing. I see him every day. Like it's no bullshit. It's not a media
And you
thing.
pay like $4 a year in tax.
Yeah, and I don't pay.
I didn't even do a state tax return this year, bro.
Bro, the
Why
only thing
so-
you're not on the coast like Miami, bro. That's the only thing.
True.
Yeah, you are. I mean, the beach is right there. You're just not.
Unless I'm retarded, isn't Orlando kind of in the
No,
middle though? I
You're
thought?
in the Gulf. Orlando's in the middle. Yeah, in Tampa you're on the Gulf, so you still got the fresh, like the seawater.
Don't ask me. I am so shit at geography, especially American geography. Like, don't even. Canadians know nothing about that, bro. Absolutely nothing, unless
Ask
you're a
me.
baseball fan.
Ask me about Canada, bro. I couldn't tell you shit about it.
I couldn't tell you shit about it. Y'all have to like ever color the maps when you were in like elementary school with like pencil crayons and like fill in the states, or is that a Canadian thing?
That's.
I would make all of
Canadian
Canada white. Just cold.
thing.
Dude, it's like snowing outside right now. It's terrible.
What? Yeah, 80. Nice,
Oh,
beautiful,
yeah.
80 degrees. The rent isn't too horrible. It might be cheap. Actually, it's a little cheaper than Miami, but not too crazy.
Yeah. No,
But I-
over here's crazy. Well, our
I have a
taxes
feeling.
crazy.
I think Mason just moved from Tampa to Miami. I
You
wonder
gotta
why
have
he
money
did
in
that.
Miami.
Yeah,
He was staying in like hotels in Tampa and stuff, but he's got a
Okay.
crib out in Miami now.
Yeah, see, but Miami is more of a big culture scene. There's a huge culture
Yeah.
scene in Miami. Tampa, it's more chill, relaxed, and people are big Lightning fans. That's about
Yeah.
it.
Facts.
Like that's about it.
Bandwagons.
Yeah, huge bandwagons, bro. I moved here when the Blackhawks beat them, and I'm from Chicago.
Really?
Got the tattoo. And the Blackhawks whooped them in the Stanley Cup, and that's all I had. I didn't know how to make friends in school. I was a senior in high school.
Yeah.
And it's awkward as hell. So I went to hockey practice, and sure enough, it's everybody talking shit because we just beat them in the cup. So it's
Oh my
perfect.
God.
Just came in rolling with the boys.
Wait, rent's pretty like affordable.
Yeah, it's not bad. I'm paying 17 right now. It's about
Mine's 1,100.
yeah, it's about 18 to $2,000 for a 2-bed.
Is that like downtown or are you on like the outskirts kind of?
I'm outskirts, but that's downtown too. I'm relocating in less than 2 months, so I'm looking at shit right now, and that's roundabout what all them are.
Hey, right quick though, I gotta bounce because we got a Zoom call after this. So I gotta
Oh,
take my
shit.
Yeah,
dog.
no worries. We wrap this up. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, cool. Well, Riley, man, I will say you have impressed me a lot, man. You are very
Thank you, brother.
knowledgeable. And it shows. I don't think I heard you say like or once, and that is impressive
you.
for a 20-year-old in today's age. I
I
applaud you
appreciate
for that. And yeah, your thoughts are really thought out, man. It was impressive to say the least.
Thank you. Cheers. I've lived a lot of life for my young age. And
Yeah.
again, you guys as well. I really appreciate, like I said at the beginning, I appreciate all you guys. Appreciate you having me on. I appreciate just, you're taking a stand, and we'll have more, a lot of people that are saying you shouldn't. So I applaud you for weathering the storm.
Yeah, we couldn't do it without people like you coming on, telling us their story and being open about it. So it goes
Amen,
both
brother.
ways, just like we were saying, leadership and followership, man. That's
Absolutely.
just how it is. So thanks, everyone. We'll throw the link to IO in the chat. We'll throw Riley's Twitter, or in the chat, in the description. Throw Riley's Twitter in there. Throw everything y'all need in there, and we'll catch you next time.
Cheers, boys. Appreciate it.
Later.